What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Trainer Club. Latios switch with Latias today. So we have Latias. We need to know how to hit excellent throws. Every single time so we can hit and catch more. Welcome to the Trainer Club. Let's go. Perfect Latias is 1929 at level 20. So 1929 at level 20. That is what you're gonna look like. Although he looks like he has a lot less health, he is actually much stronger than Latios. He's gonna take a little bit more people to actually beat him. We were actually going in with parties of about 6 or 7, and we were having, we got him down and we were still getting like 40 seconds left on the raid. So I would highly suggest going in with higher party sizes with more people for Latias because his defense is much higher than Latios. So he is gonna be a stronger Pokemon to beat against as a raid boss, but he is not going to be as strong as of an attacker as Latios is. And actually, I did want to point this out. I have an iPhone 7 Plus right here, so 8 Plus would be the same as well. And since the last update, they have slightly changed the throwing dynamic. I think it might have been on accident, but the bottom portion where I usually have recommended from the Latios video is no longer easiest for me to hit. So I actually throw when he's at the top now, just because it feels like when I throw it here, it's either underthrowing it or overthrowing it very, very easy. It's a very touchy thing. I think that when they updated it for the iPhone X, it must have done something for this iPhone 7 Plus screen that makes it either go super short or way long with the same amount of effort, so I don't hit it quite as easy. So now I am recommending that you hit and catch up top because it is easier to do, in my opinion, right now. It's 1878 going for the golden Raz. Like I said, I just wait for him to go all the way to the top because I think that it is much easier to do. So we're just gonna wait, hold the circle, and let me go what holding and setting the circle means. It means you hold down on the Pokeball until the circle gets to a size that you feel comfortable with. And once the circle gets to somewhere that you feel comfortable with, you're gonna go ahead and wait and no longer touch the screen until he starts to attack. Once he starts to attack, it's safe to pick the ball up and it will not alter your circle size. The smaller the excellent, the better chances you're gonna have to actually catch him. So I have him up top right here. I have 7 balls left. I did miss the second throw. It wasn't an excellent throw. Here we go, throw it. Boom, excellent on the top. When you get this down, it's a little bit more of a straight up throw. This is about where I get, I'm tapping my screen. There we go. So that excellent curveball is super crucial to getting the hit. Let's break it down a few more from a couple different angles, and I am going to make sure that you are able and feel comfortable hitting excellent throws so that when you see that 1929, you have better chances to catch it. Here we go, guys. 1918. So this is a 96% Latios. I am holding down on the ball to set the ball right now. I let go as soon as I feel comfortable, and I'm gonna wait for his attack animation. Here it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and release and hit this excellent throw. So in a second, we're gonna break down how and where I release the ball to make sure that I hit these excellent throws for her. So we are going to wait until he gets to the top. That is my #1 key right now. Wait all the way until he gets to the top, because since the update, there is a little bit of inconsistency with my throws on the bottom part. So here we're gonna break down with 2 different screens, and I'm gonna slow-mo it in order for you to see what's going on. So here's my throw. I'm gonna go ahead and wind up and throw and hit the excellent up top. As you notice, the ball and how I release it is a little bit arced and more upright than it would be if he was down at the bottom. So I don't want to do it here, but I am going to show you how it looks right now. So when he goes on the bottom, I'm going to show what the inconsistency looks like. So that would have been an excellent throw before the update. And now it is no longer an excellent throw. It actually falls short. And then sometimes if I throw it a little bit harder, it will go over his head. So I'll show you this one more time from the bottom. I know I'm wasting balls right now, but I'm pretty confident that I am going to catch this guy. So as soon as he does his attack, any day now, he will do his attack. Here you go. I'm going to wind up, throw what used to be an excellent. As you can see, fell short, is no longer an excellent. This is why I shoot for the top. So now let's get down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to show you exactly what my curveball looks like and how I wind up, and I will pause it so that you can see where I come from for the curveball. I'm not going to go for that one on the bottom as tempted as I was. I'm going to wait for this one on the top. And here we go, we get an excellent throw and a curveball. So I tap on the screen, it's just my superstition. It doesn't have to, nobody has to do it. It doesn't have anything really to do with catching, theoretically. So here it is, we go and wind up. As you can see, as I bring the ball right before I release it, I bring all the way down into the corner of the screen. And as I release it, it's coming up at about a 35-degree angle from the top. So it's not quite center, but it's 35 degrees. And I also want to point out that when I was throwing this, you notice how quick I went from a golden raspberry straight into a curveball to hit an excellent throw. That is a very advanced move to be able to pick the ball up that fast and release it to hit a curveball. So I do not suggest doing that right off the bat. Make sure to master that first before you go immediately from a golden raspberry or any type of berry straight into an excellent throw. All right, guys, and then the boosted Latias is going to be 24-12. So he is going to be boosted in the wind because Dragon and Psychic gets boosted in the wind. So that is 24-12 in the wind. So his max CP is actually 3377. So he is lower than Latios. He is not quite as high, but like I said, his defense is much higher, so he is stronger as a raid boss, not as an attacker. And since these legendaries cannot be put in gyms, he is actually not quite as useful. He's more of a tanky Pokemon as compared to an attacker like Latios. And actually he gets Thunder, which is really cool. It's super cool to see him get Thunder. Latios gets the Solar Beam and he gets Thunder, which is pretty cool. So when you see the ground type Pokemon in there, there's a better chance that he has the Thunder move. We're gonna break down a couple more Latios throws, excellent throws from a couple different angles so that you can see and make sure to get the best that you can possibly do. Here we go with Latias number 2 close-up screen record. The goal here is to show you the difference when setting the circle between a great and an excellent throw. So setting the circle, I will put my thumb on the ball and wait until it gets to this degree, and this will be a great throw. If I let it go a little bit more, it will be an excellent throw. So this is the excellent range. It goes right around the outside of his head. It is a very small circle, so you have to be very consistent in throwing this ball, I would highly suggest, in order to get comfortable with this. And like I said, I only really throw when he's on the top because it makes me feel more comfortable. So he's on the top, he did his attack animation. I go ahead and release at the same point that you saw in the last up close and personal. And sometimes he does break out. This does not mean it's a guaranteed catch. It only increases your chances. And so for me, if I can increase my chances every single time, I am getting a better chance of catching him every time. So I am waiting until he does his attack animation up top. So sometimes it can be quite the waiting game because I'm no longer throwing it on the bottom until I see this glitch fixed. I go ahead and throw, release. On that particular one, I did not throw hard enough. So this is a great tool to see how you actually have to really hone in your skills in order to know how far he is, exactly where to release, and exactly where to let go. So he did a double attack there, which I kind of had a hunch. I went ahead and released it and I hit the excellent throw. So now I am tapping on the ball and he breaks out, which is okay. Do not get discouraged when he breaks out. Just keep the shooter mentality that you are going to catch him. And you are going to catch him, maybe not every time, but you're going to have a much better chance. So there, go ahead and do it. Release. Perfect. Right on the money. And he breaks out again. Like I said, do not worry. Continue to hit excellent throws, and you will catch him more often than not. And if you don't feel it, don't throw it. Here we go. Go ahead and release in that same direction. You can notice from the last video exactly where my finger gets let off. It's a little bit above the Pokeball, and we caught him on the third excellent throw in a row. So what we want to know is, one, we have to set the ball. Like I said, what setting the ball is, it's touching down on the ball as it sits in the dock, which is the bottom of the screen, until it gets the circle to where you want it to go. So the circle will go from big to small, and then back to big to small, back to big to small. You're gonna let it go when you feel comfortable, like you can hit that circle on a consistent basis. The smaller, the better, because it's gonna give you a higher chance. And so what you wanna do, you hold that ball down all the way until it gets there, and then you let go of the ball. Now you're not gonna touch the ball again until he starts his attack animation. His attack animation is very similar to Latios, except he does a little bit different of a spin. He doesn't go quite as long. He comes a little bit under and sits right back, but it's just about the exact same everything else. So if you have Latios down, but make sure, like I said, if you have this iPhone, when he was attacking in the beginning, the lower part was super easy for me to hit. After the update, the most recent update, now I have to throw it all the way up top in order to make sure that I can hit those excellents. So that is what you want to do. Throw it all the way up top. The number one thing that differs here is you have to go in with bigger party sizes. So I would say that the Pokemon, that the minimum that you would have to do if you're all level 40s with max out Pokemon, maybe four. I'm gonna guess 4, that we're gonna see 4 people do it. We're not gonna see 3 people do it. It might be 5. 4 to 5 is the absolute minimum. I would suggest party sizes of at least 10 because of how strong his defense is, and we want to make sure that we take him down every time. Latios actually gets Outrage, so he is going to have a pretty good attack, which is kind of interesting because Outrage is a really good attack move. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think. Give me that thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, how many are you catching? What did you do with Latios? We're going to do the same thing with Latias. We're going to throw it, actually at least I am going to be throwing it more when he's at the top until they fix this glitch, because I need those excellent throws, and that's the only time that I can really get consistent with it. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you being part of the Trainer Club, and of course, let's get those 100%. Let me know when you get one. Peace.